How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of the Pre-PT Chat Live. And today we're talking about just balance, structure and balance as a pre-PT. Great topic for all of you. But before we begin, we want to share this out, make sure everyone has access to it. But Casey, let us know a little bit about what's been going on for you. You are still in California, taking care of business as an intern, man. Break that down for us, boss.
Yeah, short and sweet. I made my patients feel good today, and so I feel good. I'm feeling good. Everything's going well. Everything's going as planned. One of my goals for this internship was to get better clinically, and I feel I've reached it. So, got one more week after this left. Then I'm into my last internship. Then graduation is around the corner. So all in all, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. How's everybody doing? What's up? What's up, guys? What's up? Looks like we got Judy on. How's it going, Judy?
Hey, what's up, Judy? How you doing, fam? Yo, so it's crazy, bro, because the point where you're at is like it happens so quickly. And I think a lot of pre-PTs need to know that. Like once you're in PT school, the process just like it unfolds fairly fast. It unfolds fairly fast. So man, I remember when Casey and I started at freshman year and just kind of seeing how the journeys have gone. And then now he's just, flying through his clinicals and all that, getting ready to become a doctor this August. It's crazy, huh?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's a little crazy, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. So tonight we are talking about structure and balance as a pre-PT. So how we choose our topics is this, because we want to make sure that we are always serving you guys. How we choose our topics is we have a poll that goes up in the pre-doctor of physical therapy students page. So if you're not on that page, welcome to it. If you're interested in becoming a pre-PT, but in that, like on that page, we usually post a poll saying, hey, these are some option ideas for the live video this Thursday, and people usually vote. So this week, the vote was structure and balance as a pre-PT. So that's what we're going to hit today. But I think it's going to come from a place where a lot of us just kind of feel as though, during this process, things can get absolutely overwhelming. And just understanding how to leverage it all, understanding how to stay locked in, understanding how to keep everything at bay and balanced will become absolutely pivotal for all of you as pre-PTs, because if you're a pre-PT, it means that you're either interested in becoming a physical therapist or you are locked in. You are locked in on becoming a PT. So Casey, give us a little bit of a warm up into this topic of structure and balance of pre-PT. What are some of the frustrations, struggles, and really, what direction should we be looking at as pre-PTs? What direction should we be looking in order to really leverage our entire journey, to leverage everything about what we do?
Yeah. So there's really three things that I'm going to briefly touch on with structure and balance, and those are really like priorities, knowing that you chose this road that you're going down, and the discipline to stay there. So it's really about those three things. Okay, structure and balance is really more about priorities. What do you have to do now as opposed to later? You can balance, sure. Call it what you wish, but it's really what are you putting at the forefront of what you have to do. It's really about managing your priorities at this point and going forward. Then next is really that understanding that you chose this path. You chose to apply to PT school. You chose to do the prereqs. You chose this and that and that. So if you go into it thinking with that mindset, then now you're coming into it with a different frame of reference. Not so much that, oh, this is being put on me. Oh, I have to do this. This is what I set out to do. Now I have to be structured about it. Now I have to be balanced about it. Now I have to have my priorities set because this is the path I chose. This is what I want to do. This is the future that I have lined out for me if I just follow the steps that I put into place or that my mentor put into place for me. So that's really the second thing, is really knowing and understanding that this is all you. This is your burden or quote unquote burden that you put on yourself. So understanding that will give you a different frame of reference. And lastly, it's like, and we can go deeper into all these topics and all that as we will, but The last one is really the discipline to follow your structure and balance that you put into place. Because we all can make a plan, we all can be balanced, we all can have structure, but it don't mean crap if we don't follow that, if we're not disciplined with staying on that path. You can have 1,000, you can have 1,000 structures, 1,000, balance sheets, PDFs, whatever, spreadsheets, and you can have them for different situations, and you can keep making new ones and new ones. But, if you're not disciplined with any of them, then it won't matter. You won't get anywhere. And the structure and balance won't even come into play. So those are really the three things that I kind of think of when I think of structure and balance, especially thinking back to me being a pre-PT and even now and going forward. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think I want to take this moment, like for all of you that are live right now, or if your team replay, would y'all mind putting in the comments some of the things that you guys are struggling with in regards to this topic? Or is it even a concern of yours? Do you feel as though everything right now is on lock, as if your entire process, your entire journey is so gelled that everything's just falling in place as it should? Because I sure didn't. And so if you're kind of struggling with this whole structure and balance thing, comment below, say, yeah, no, for real, like I'm included, or even share a little bit about what that is. Is it your time? Is it the classes? Is it understanding how to balance everything, family, work, school? Like there's so many different things that factor into this topic of structure and balance. So just comment below, like let us know so we can kind of know, where you guys are coming from. But I know for myself, like that was a big problem for me. I was easily overwhelmed by things that I should not have been overwhelmed by, because I didn't know how to structure them. I didn't know how to prioritize them. That's the word that Casey was using. It's all priorities. There's no real, like, balance doesn't really exist per se. It's all priorities. It's all about deciding here and now, like what is the most important. So there's an analogy that I've used a lot, and I'm sure all of y'all have heard it, but it does not, like, you can't even use this analogy enough, because it's exactly what it's about. Like you take a vase, and I'm sure y'all have heard this, but you take a vase, a clear vase, and you just place it there. And the reason why this always comes to my mind is because when, like, this a few years back, I think I was in grade school or whatever, a presenter came in and brought in a physical glass vase. That's why I'll even call it a glass vase. It could have been a jug, it could have been a bucket, whatever. He chose a glass vase. And so he put it in there and he said, all right, so we have this amount of water, we have this amount of sand, we have this amount of rocks. So rocks, sand, water. He had rocks, he had sand, and he had water. And he said, okay, so I need some volunteers to help me, just like tell me how you would put all these three things inside this vase so that it fits. And like we're hyped. We're like, oh, you put the water, and then after you put the water, you could put the sand, because the sand will fall to the bottom, and then the rocks should fit. And he was like, because he had told us ahead of time, he was like, all of these materials have been measured out to fit in this vase. So how would y'all put it in there? So we're probably like fifth grade, who knows? But we're just like yelling out what we think it should be. And lo and behold, he was like, I mean, he heard everything from water first to sand first to rocks first. But what he explained to us actually put it together in regards to this topic of balance and structure, right? What he said was that if you put these things in the wrong way, if you prioritize these three ingredients, like in the wrong order, everything will overflow. And the whole struggle for all of us in regards to structure, balance, and understanding how to put things together, the biggest frustration is feeling as though everything is overwhelming us. It's feeling as though we can't hold it together. You're in classes trying to keep your act together, trying to pass your grades, trying to make sure that falls together. But now you also maybe have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're trying to spend time with them, or you have a family, you got your kids, you got a job because you're trying to make some money to, take care of everybody else. You're trying to do observation hours because, that's important. You're trying to be like you have all these different things that keep cycling and cycling, and so you can feel overwhelmed. You can honestly feel overwhelmed. And the reality of it is, in the same way that those 3 ingredients were measured out to fit in the vase, everything you're going through right now is actually measured out to fit in your vase. Sorry, not everything. Something's got to go, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the things that actually matter have been measured out to fit in the vase. The question is, how are y'all putting it in the vase? What's your order? So like I said, we told him, put the water first, put the sand, put the rocks. And he was like, nope, that's not it. Okay, well, put the water first, then the rocks, then the sand after that. He's like, nope. I was like, oh, okay, well, sand first. We came up with every single possible solution. But what he said, he's like, put the rocks first. Put the rocks first. Let them fill up the vase. Put the sand in second. Let the sand fill in all the cracks that the rocks are leaving. Then ultimately put the water in last, because that will fit in every single space remaining and it will match up. So right now, like Casey was saying, you guys have to identify what your 3 key ingredients are. Not even 3. What are your key ingredients? What are your key ingredients? What are the things that you guys know are important to you? Family, academics, the requirements, prereqs, retaking classes. Like, what are the things that you guys know are important to your vase, that belong in your vase? Does that make sense? If you guys can identify that, then everything else will actually fall in place accordingly. And then you'll actually know what to say no to, right? Because you have to also be willing to really say no to things that don't fit in that. But I think that when we, not only as pre-PTs, as PT students, as physical therapists, it doesn't really matter. Once we identify how to prioritize, once we know how to prioritize, once we understand how to actually put things together accordingly, how to actually put things into our life space, right? Because guys, there's only so much we can hold in, but most of the time it's not because of what you're putting in, it's because of how you're structuring it, right? Well, what are your habits? What do you do when you're waking up? Huh? When you're waking up in the morning, are you waiting till the last possible moment till the alarm goes off and then you're just like scrambling? So now the rest of your day is already kind of, running ahead of you. It's just within reach for the rest of the day. Or have you structured even like your habits in the morning to give you an edge, to give you leverage, right? Like, are you listening to certain things that are actually giving you motivation, locking you into the day? Like, what are those things, right? How are you writing down a list of things the night before just to be like, hey man, this is what I got to take care of tomorrow? You know what I actually do? I actually, the way I, like on my phone, I go into my I have a list like on, like where it'll remind me, my appointments and all that stuff. But I actually create another list in my notes every single day. I do it the night before and I write down all the things that have to be taken care of. But I either give them a green check, a blue check, or that black check that's just like the black check on the iPhone, if y'all have iPhones. So I give them one of those 3. The green is my top priority, blue second, black third. It's visible. It's visible. And by the end of the day, I reassess that. That's how I know whether I killed it that day or I did not. Because if there's any green checks that are still there, I messed up big time. If there's blue checks, I could have done better. If there's black checks only, okay, like I could have gone next level, but I didn't fully get there. If they're all gone, if they're all taken care of, then I know I killed it, right? But it's the same thing with you guys. It's the same thing with you guys. When you guys are trying to go through this process, it's not always a walk in the park in terms of being able to balance everything, right? That's what we're hearing from a lot of our students. That's what we're hearing from a lot of people on here, especially now that applications coming up. Y'all are gonna, especially those y'all applying the cycle, it's going to feel overwhelming at times. Oh, I gotta do a letter of recommendation. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Understand, and respect this whole priorities game, right? So what are your priorities? What do they look like? And how are you accounting for them? How are you accounting for them? Are you writing them down? Is it something you're just like keeping in your head? Are you setting yourself up to just kind of go with whatever's thrown at you during the day? And then by the end of the day, you try to scramble and put everything together? Like what are you doing to make sure that that is taken care of? Because I can guarantee you that once you have identified that, once you develop a game plan or an approach that will help you keep that together and keep that on lock, then I cannot, without a shadow of a doubt, you will lock in regards to structure and balance. You will not fail in regards to structure and balance because you've identified the very root of what you need to make it happen. To make it happen. So structure and balance. Ask yourselves what am I doing every day to make sure that I'm on it? What are my habits and how are they being exemplified? How am I documenting the priorities that I have and how am I categorizing them? Because that's what the rocks guys, like, identify your rocks. What are your rocks? What goes first? Identify your sand. What goes second? Identify your water. What goes last? They're all important. They all belong in there, but you have to know how to put them in. Sounds good? Casey.
That's it.
Shoot.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. That's just one step of our 6-step strategy. So let them know how they can find that. There's a link below, and talk to them a little bit more about the 6 steps and how this is incorporated into all that.
Yeah. So if you guys look below, we do have a link in here. We did a live training this past Sunday where, I mean, honestly, it's like a 2-hour training, so you guys get a lot of value in that time frame. But you guys might have seen the post. We talk about the 6-step strategy to get into physical therapy school without wasting time or money. And the reason why we did that was because we want to show you guys what the method is to get there. A lot of times we focus on just the academic aspect of, oh shoot, like it's PT cast I got to worry about, or my letters of recommendation, not understanding that there's so many other levels, that actually factor in to you becoming an all-star SPT is what we call it. All-star SPT really means a student physical therapist, but an all-star student physical therapist. Because for all of you that are seeking to push yourselves, all of you that are striving to go to that next phase of becoming the best version of yourself as a pre-PT, not only for now, but also when you're a physical therapy student and ultimately a physical therapist. For those of you, like, you have to be all-star. You have to be next level, right? It's not just something where you just trickle on through. You put in the work. You set yourself up to win. So as an all-star SPT, that's what our aspiration is. So if you guys go in the link below, you guys can actually just watch that video. Have it playing in the background, watch the video, and understand what you have to do as a pre-PT, what you have to do to take yourself to that next level in order to become an all-star SPT. You go through that, and then send us a message at contactpreptgrind.com if you have any questions, and we'll make sure that you guys are taken care of. But guys, this process is absolutely it doesn't always seem like it's an easy one because you're in it. It's like a roller coaster. If you've never been in a roller coaster before and you're scared of heights and the drops or whatever, you don't like. Actually, perfect example. I went to so I'm in Florida. I went to Disney. And at Disney, there's this roller coaster, and it's in the dark. Whole thing's in the dark. They say that if you do it in the daytime, like it's in the building, whatever. They say that if you do it in the daytime, it looks like the most childish ride in the world, but it's in the dark, pitch black. And so you go in and you don't know when the drops are coming. You don't know when the turns are coming, pitch black. And I can only tell you, like, the first time I went, I thought it was like the scariest thing ever. Second time I knew what to expect. So I was good. But that's how this journey feels sometimes. That's how this feels sometimes. It feels like, shoot, like I didn't expect that or this or whatever. Like you're trying to react. I don't want y'all to react. I want y'all to be on it beforehand. And so to do that, you just have to understand what you're getting yourself into. You have to understand the game. You have to become the head coach of this whole process. The head coach on a sports team sees the whole field. They see the whole court. They see plays before the players catch them. Does that make sense? They see a potential hit in football before it actually takes place. But it's too late before. I mean, they can't say anything. It's happening too quickly. Y'all need to become the head coaches of this entire process. So watch the video, learn the 6-step strategy to get into PT school without wasting time or money. Like, it's right there. The video's right there. You can watch it tonight. You can watch it tomorrow. It's your call. And then share it out with your friends. Share it out with your friends. Allow them to see what they got to do to really make sure they they take themselves to the next level, man. Some valuable gems that Casey and I both wish we knew when we were pre-PTs. But all in all, man, we love serving all of you. We love serving all of you. And we also love communicating with all of you. So reach out to us at contactpreptgrind.com. Just ask us whatever you need, and we'll make sure that you're taken care of. Y'all have an absolutely great Thursday evening. We'll talk soon. We'll be back. Last week, we did not have a live video on Thursday because we were doing the 5-day video series, but we're back. So next week, same time, we're going to be right here. Look out for it. We also have a few guest lives coming up in the next week and a half, so be looking out for those as well. You guys have a great evening. Many blessings. Bye.